To say that we have ghouls in the Republican Party in the United States doesn't really get it done. I don't know that I'm rhetorically talented enough to bring to bear the exact language that I feel about some of these people sometimes. Sometimes I let the lower Jesse, the lower thinker in me win, the lizard brain part of me. And when people who have called for violence against others of an opposite political stance, like Mike Davis, we're going to talk about him. It comes to mind, and I think that there's no way that Mike Davis has ever had violence brought against him, because he wouldn't act so freely and disgustingly online as he does. And now let me tell you about Mike Davis before we get into this tweet. He's a man who Donald Trump considered to be the attorney general, at the very least, the acting attorney general before he finally landed on an attorney general person. And he has said horrible, wildly disgusting, violent things. And this is really no different. This is, you know who Gabby Giffords is. She's the wife of Mark Kelly, kept talking about Mike Davis. She is a former congresswoman for Arizona. She is the victim of gun violence, shot in her head. She suffers physiological effects of this, ramifications from this wound. Psychological, certainly, there's trauma involved. Neurological damage. She doesn't speak exactly correctly as she used to. She's slower. She's a gunshot victim. She almost lost her life because of political violence. And in the wake of the National Guard member who was shot, Sarah Beckstrom, 20, West Virginia, Giffords' organization tweeted this: "We are heartbroken to hear that Specialist Sarah Beckstrom, one of the National Guard members shot in D.C. on Tuesday, has died. She served her country with courage and dedication. She should still be here celebrating Thanksgiving with her loved ones." Right? Well, Gabby Giffords retweeted that particular tweet with this: "Specialist Sarah Beckstrom deserved a long, full life. My heart is with her family, friends, and fellow service members. Gun violence steals too many futures. We must honor her by fighting for a safer country, one where all Americans are protected from gun violence." Who can have a problem with that? What kind of a fucking ghoul would say the thing that Mike Davis did? Well, I just gave you the answer. Mike Davis, former in contention to be the Attorney General of the United States. This is Mike Davis. Gun violence, ? Fuck off, Gabby. The real problem is your piece of shit husband, Mark Kelly, and other Democrats who mass import terrorists, demonize the National Guard members saving cities, and call on 18-year-old enlistees to disobey the President of the United States. I would have you know, this never faced violence in his life, Mike Davis, also never served in the United States military. Certainly, he's only 3 years younger than me, had the opportunity to volunteer, to serve in the United States military. He could have been just a few years behind. We could have served at the same time in the United States Marine Corps, but he's a fucking coward, physical little coward who chose not to. Instead, he interned for Newt Gingrich and then went to law school. Yeah. Let me tell you about Mike Davis. Other than the fact that he has never faced violence, actual violence in his... Listen, and I'm beating that drum. Let me say this. When you've been punched in the face, it makes you question the things that come out of your mouth, right? When you've actually had consequence for shitty things you've said, out of line things you've said. I have. I've been punched in my face multiple times. And it makes you a little reticent before you open your mouth and say shit you can't back up. And when you're telling a woman who is disabled from gun violence to fuck off because she's concerned and showing empathy and love and compassion for someone that you're showing no compassion for? Maybe you should fuck off, Mike Davis. Let me show you this tweet from the day after Election Day. This gives you an idea who's in MAGA world, who Donald Trump almost put in as Attorney General of the United States. This is the day after election. Here's my current mood, says Mike Davis, the man who told Gabby Giffords to fuck off. Here's my current mood. I want to drag their dead political bodies through the streets, burn them, and throw them off the wall. And then parenthetically, because after all, he is a lawyer, he understands the import of these words. Parenthetically, legally, politically, and financially, of course, says Mike Davis, a man who's never faced violence in his life. Here's a headline from an article I'm going to read 2 paragraphs from the Washington Post. And here are those 2 paragraphs. Referring to Trump's illegal immigration policy that separated families, Davis declared, "We're going to put kids in cages. It's going to be glorious." He routinely threatens to throw journalists into the gulag. Special counsel Jack Smith, who is prosecuting Trump for allegedly trying to subvert the outcome of the 2020 vote, leads a long line of people with targets on their backs. Quote, "I would say to Jack Smith that right now you guys are the hunters," David tweeted over the summer, adding that after Trump's inauguration on January 20th, you're going to become the hunted. Then Davis has suggested that as acting attorney general, he will oversee a 3-week reign of terror to indict Trump's opponents and purge them from the federal government. This is who they are. Listen, people don't like the invectives that I throw around. They think I'm too bombastic, too radical, whatever. You know, maybe I'm not for you. Maybe I'm not. But what kind of language is justified to talk about these people other than calling them ghouls, other than calling them what they are? This guy's inciting violence and then is not the subject of it, is not the recipient of it. Like any other bully, like any other fucking coward, this guy's another one. He's cut from the same cloth as Donald Trump, just not quite as rich, just as arrogant, just as much unearned a title and station in the party and influence. Just another. I'll end it there. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. I'd love to hear from you if you're from Arizona, if you are a constituent of Mark Kelly or a former constituent of Gabby Giffords. I think it's important that we all make more of these stories. Share this video. I would appreciate it very much. Anyway, what do you think? Comment below. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. You can email me daily@dollemore.com. I would appreciate your reaching out. And please consider supporting the work. If I'm not too bombastic for you, if I'm not too over the top, you can become a channel member. $2 a month. You can support my over the topness. Click the join button below. I would appreciate it very much. Or even better, because they take way less of a percentage, you can go to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Both those are great ways. Both those are linked below. And I will see you next time. Be genuine and take care of one another.